how to multiply your money in 3 to 4 years with oil and gas investments. What's up, guys? In today's video, we're going to break down the investment life cycle of oil and gas, a step-by-step guide to how these deals work and how they can help you write off taxes and speed up your investments. If you're already in real estate and you're looking for a way to 3x your money in like a 3 to 4 year time frame, this is the video for you. We're going to cover the stages of an oil and gas investment, how these deals generate returns over time, and why oil and gas can be a game changer specifically for real estate investors. First off, we have the basics of oil and gas investments. Oil and gas investments are unique because they combine high returns with massive tax benefits. You're investing in a physical asset, oil and gas wells that generate revenue every single time oil or gas is extracted and sold. And unlike real estate where tax benefits are tied to depreciation, oil and gas investments typically allow you to write off anywhere from 80 to 90% of your investment in the first year against active income. And guess what? There is no recapture. But how do these deals actually work? So let's break that down. The investment life cycle. We've got 3 key stages. You've got acquisition and development. This is where the operator identifies where they're going to drill and they secure the drilling site. They get the necessary permits in place and the wells are spud, which is actually where the drill bit breaks ground to start drilling that hole. Most of the operators I work with typically get their wells drilled in about a 30-day time period, give or take, but I've seen some operators take months to get this finished. This always blows my mind because some of these wells go 2 miles vertical and then 2 miles horizontal, and they're drilling them in 30 days. But this is why I like working with major operators. They have the best equipment and technology out there, and they get it done really fast. Once drilling is complete, these wells are called DUCs, which means drilled incomplete. And the next step, at least for horizontal wells, is fracking. Fracking is where liquids are injected down into the wellbore, which is the drilled hole, to create cracks in the rock. The cracks in that rock let the oil and the natural gas flow through, and this is usually a pretty quick process and it only takes a few days. Now, once the wells are fracked, completion happens. And some wells have enough pressure in them to allow the oil to flow on their own, but sometimes lifts or pump jacks are installed to help bring that oil out. This is also a pretty quick process, and so once they get those things installed, next thing you know, your wells are online and producing. So that takes us into the production phase. So once the wells are online, they're producing oil or gas or a combination of the two. Now, every month, oil and gas is sold and investors receive monthly cash flow based on their ownership percentage of the well. This is where returns start rolling in. And depending on the price of oil and how much oil is actually coming out of the ground, you could see anywhere from 20 to 60% annualized returns in those first few years. And this is also where you're going to see that first big tax benefit. Intangible drilling costs, or IDCs, allow you to deduct a significant portion of your investment in the first year, good against any type of income. All right, now let's talk about the next phase, which is the exit or long-term production. Most wells, you're going to see the majority of what they're going to produce in about a 7-year time frame, but it's going to keep generating cash flow for 10, 15, 20 more years, which is amazing. Let's say that you've got a 3x return on the project itself. That means you're going to see 80% of it within that first 7, 8-ish years. So why are oil and gas investments perfect for real estate investors? If you're already in real estate, you know the importance of cash flow and tax efficiency. And here's why oil and gas is a great complement to your portfolio. Massive tax write-offs. Unlike real estate, which only offsets passive income, unless you're a real estate professional, oil and gas deductions can offset active income like your W-2 income, business income, and even capital gains. Next, you've got faster returns. While real estate often requires years of appreciation, oil and gas deals can generate significant cash flow starting in that first year. Most of our projects typically see like a 50% return in year 1. Next up, we have diversification. Adding oil and gas into your portfolio reduces your reliance on real estate alone, giving you exposure to the energy sector, and it's completely uncorrelated to the stock market. Plus, you're buying an actual asset. So let's talk about how you can actually 3x your money in like 3 to 4 years. Let's really get into those numbers. So here's how a typical oil and gas deal might play out. Year 1, you invest $100K. Thanks to those tax deductions, you can write off $75,000 to $90,000 against your taxable income, which depending on your tax bracket translates into roughly $30,000 back into your pocket. You can start reinvesting that money money or loaning it out immediately and generating returns. In years 1 to 4, the well's producing oil and gas, it's generating monthly cash flow, and because the wells produce the most at the beginning of their life, you're making the most during this time period. You can place the tax savings and that monthly cash flow into short-term loans and generate an additional 20 to 40% annually. And if you need it to reach a certain amount before you can fund, place it in a high-interest savings account. And as you continue to do this over the next couple of years, in 3 to 4 years, you will literally have 3 extra money, and you still have that initial 100K in the wells earning money for you for 15 more years. So how to get started in investing in oil and gas? First, you want to make sure you understand the accreditation requirements. Most oil and gas deals are limited to accredited investors. This is individuals with $200,000 a year in annual income, or $300,000 for a couple, or 1 million plus net worth, not including your personal home. Step 2 is you want to make sure you research your operators. You want to look for operators with a proven track record who are drilling in low-risk, top-producing areas. The success rates in these areas are typically 90% or better and are called Tier 1. And there are somewhere like 48,000 operators in the United States. I like working with the top 100 in the public or private sector because these guys are just really good at what they do. Next, you want to evaluate the deal. Focus on deals with the great operators drilling in proven areas with low break-even numbers, strong benefits, and realistic return productions. I would totally avoid drilling in speculative areas. Next, you want to work with other experts like tax strategists. You want to make sure you have these guys in your corner so they can maximize your deductions and returns. I've come across several CPAs recently that don't understand the tax code, and if they're missing the mark in oil and gas, chances are they're missing the mark in other areas as well. If you're ready to take your investments to the next level, oil and gas might be the missing piece. The tax savings and cash flow alone can really supercharge your portfolio. And if you want to learn more about how to combine oil and gas with real estate to grow your wealth faster, hit that subscribe button and drop a comment below.